Thank you everybody. Look, it's not good news, I'm afraid. Tolik has broken his ankle, and he's going to be out for 4 months. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, bloody Matanovic has simply sprained his ankle ligaments, and he's going to miss the Levski tie as well. It's a disaster.
Jarune, za tebe mi dijete diše, tu je važno samo jedno, nogomet i ništa više.
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Jarun on the Impossible Dream. It is Season 5, Episode 3 today. It is Levski Sofia in the Champions League qualifiers. Hopefully, we'll see what happens in the first leg. If it's a interesting second leg, we'll do that. If not, it'll be the first leg of the playoff as we look to get back into the league phase and all the money that comes with that. But we'll be doing it without Tolik. He has broken his ankle. Now, in terms of a broken ankle, 3 to 4 months turnaround is not too bad. It could have been a lot worse, but that's a big blow. For Europe, yes, but arguably more so for the league, where I think it's going to be more his role this season. So, yeah, disappointing, obviously. And then Matanovic, 3 to 4 weeks with a sprained ankle ligaments. Just to see, brilliant game he had against Celtic in the second leg. And, yeah, he's going to be missing now as well. So, we're a little thin up front. I have tried to bring somebody else in, but there's just nothing. Even the guy we had on trial he wants to be an important player and ridiculous money, so we just can't get anybody else in. So we're thin on the ground up front, but we'll get by as we usually do. And yeah, we're just a little bit away from having the youth prospects coming in. Once they start turning 16, 17, then we'll have that sort of next influx that we can use in these sorts of situations. But for right now, yeah, everything's just a little bit thin on the ground. Now, there's one game to catch you up on. That was against Bordeaux, whatever they called the team that were newly promoted. So let's go see if we could beat them, get our first win of the league season, of course. We took an early lead when Kakavenga played in Pranjic. Palumbo made it 2-0. Before Tommy G slipped in Pranjic to make it 3-0 at half-time. And it was 4-0 when Bracalo crossed for substitute Bakulji to get his first for the club. So there you go, comfortable as you would hope it would be. Yeah, Tolik first minute broke his ankle. We had to take John off. He's got a less serious injury, but it was still about a week or so. And yeah, so it meant we pretty much used up all our subs, so we couldn't bring on too many youngsters. We gave Brakulji here a game. There's a bit of interest in him. I don't want to sell him though. I wouldn't mind loaning him out this season. Ideally to the second tier though. I don't really want to send him down to the third tier, and I don't think he would play for Bracalo, for Bordeaux, who we just played. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him, but yeah, he does need to play, I think. He's a little bit of potential there, so we'll have a think about what we do with him. So the league table after that one makes for a little bit better reading. Now, Dinamo lost to Rijeka. Now, Rijeka have loaned in a fairly decent striker as well, so they could be a dangerous team this season. But 3 points off top, 3 games in, and we've already played Hajduk and Dinamo. That's not a bad result for us, is it? So let's go and see what we're doing here, though, against Levski Sofia. Now, we're expecting a 4-3-3 out of them, and the team that we are sending out is as follows. It is Nastavic in goal, it's Bekanic, Demjanic, and Zabic as the back four. If we go back up here, so we've got Dekic and Rovers as the wing backs. We've got Bosniak, Bosanjak even, Persa and Skoko in midfield, with Pranjic and Fillet, I should say, going up front. We do have one youngster on the bench because that's where we're at in terms of striking options. Not the worst. And if the tie is going well, we might even give him a game and see how he gets on. Alright, so we can see the team sheets there. We had a quick look at them last episode, didn't we? So we know that there's mostly grayed out players, but we'll see how we go. Stick to the game plan, we should be fine. This is the away leg, so if we can get a decent win here, then we should be okay going back home. Alright, and here we go. So they've come out as expected, which is always a nice bonus. Now, of course, one of their centre-backs had 3 goals, didn't he, in 2 games. So I think it's the captain, number 50. So we'll keep an eye out for him. But I think they beat Riga, the Latvian side, in the previous round. So, you know, how strong they are, I suppose, we'll find out in the second tier. But yeah, you'd like to think that having beaten Celtic, we've earned ourselves a couple of soft rounds to get to the end. So, Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that was a really, really good result against Celtic, I thought. 4-0 in the second leg, especially. Yeah, that fills me with a little bit more confidence. But obviously, Tolik missing is disappointing. Palumbo has been registered in the Champions League squad now in place of Tolik. We need to take somebody out to get him in, and obviously Tolik is the easy to call because he's injured anyway. So, yeah, the big one's going to be Pembele, and do I actually drop Tinavoy to get him in? Dekic is playing this one, and like I've said before, I don't think we can stop playing him right now. He's brilliant. There we go. Pranjic has got a chance. He draws a good save. And that is the end of that particular highlight. We've got defending to do now as the flares go off in the stands. Bosanjak can't quite put enough pressure on. Oh, our goalkeeper's terrible. I'm still looking for a goalkeeper. The issue is that there was one that I was going to bid on. 220 grand, really, really decent goalkeeper. He went to Sassuolo, the Italian side. He went there for like 20 grand a week, and it's just, we just can't do that. But this is just a sort of frustrating situation that we're in. And it'll get better. It's the same every time we go on this impossible dream. It's always the same. Wages are always the thing that ends up being our stumbling block. So we'll get there. As that's a bit of a soft penalty. As Philip will now have a chance to give us an away goal. Not an away goal, but an away lead, I suppose. Here he goes. Philip buries it. And it is 1-0 in the 23rd minute. And let's hope we can add one or two to that now as well. Nice low penalty into the side netting. Unsavable, that one. And yeah, we'll take advantage of a bit of a soft penalty. So I'm thinking that the team is starting to look a little bit more settled now. We saw that against Celtic. Bordeaux is not the strongest team as Pranjic gets into the area now. Oh, is that another penalty? No. It's taken away from Skoko there. And Robus wins it back. Robus now, can he get a ball? Oh, Robus. He's got to roll that across goal, doesn't he? It was a tap-in for, I think it was Pranjic that was up there. Another highlight, though. 30 minutes gone. Zebic comes out to try and put some pressure on. He's going to get caught out of position here if he's not careful. And they have scored. So it is 1-1. And yeah, Zebic and Dakic not quite on the same wavelength there. They needed to sort of switch men here at some point, didn't they? And they've sort of both been sucked out. And Damjanic probably not completely aware of where his man was there either. So, still defensively, we're not looking great this year. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll get there. Come on, boys. Can we go and retake the lead before halftime? Dekic with a throw for Skoko. For Damjanic. Forward for Persa. Skoko looking for Pranjic. Can't find him, but we'll have another go at this. It's Robus. Now, this time is he going to whip a cross in? He does float one in for Fillet, and it is over the top. And it is a goal kick, it looks like. So, I mean, it's felt, apart from their goal, it has felt fairly comfortable, this one, but it's only 1-1. Can we, in stoppage time, get one from the corner? Persa knocks it in, and it is just over again from Damjanic, and that will probably be half-time. It is. So, what do we say to that? I mean, we should be winning, but we will say don't lose faith. Yeah, we should be ahead. We've got to keep playing, though. Go out there and show you've got what it takes. And I don't think there's a need to make a change right now. The issue we get to, and it was the same thing start of last season, playing all these midweek games early on, is it's difficult in terms of training, trying to, like, obviously, it was glaringly obvious, chance conversion and creation to a lesser point were just major weaknesses for us, and defensively as well, after that Hajduk split debacle 4-4. There's a good one for Fillet. Fillet's in. Fillet is saving from the goalkeeper. But it's difficult to address all these issues because you just don't have as much time to train as that is flicked away. And that will end the highlight. So yeah, it's something that is, it's just part of the challenge of playing in Europe, obviously, but trying to see the issues that you don't necessarily spot in pre-season and then trying to sort of fix them on the run is a little difficult. But we've got an XG of over 2 here, but we're struggling to stick the ball in the net. So let's take Pranjic off. Let's give this kid a game. Let's see what he can do. He's one of the first of the academy graduates to get a chance. And Skoko now over a free kick. It is decent. It's very good, in fact, and it's hit the crossbar. So Bosanjak, but that ends that particular highlight. Purser not having a great game, so we can take him off for... Do we bring Palumbo on? Let's bring Palumbo on. Let's see what he can do for us. And Bekanic is another one not having a great game. Yeah, defensively, we kind of have to go with what we've got because I don't know why I've praised them there. I mean, we should be praising. I mean, we've had 20 shots. We've dominated the game, but it's going to be very much still alive going into the second leg. You would fancy us, based off of this and 21 shots on goal, to be able to do okay in the second leg. But when it's only 1-1, there's a good ball in, and it's just over from Rovis. The tie's still very much alive, and... well, we can't afford any mistakes at home, can we? We should have smashed them there. That should have been 5 or 6. But, yeah, anyway. So, Jarun missed the chance to win. Deveric has made his professional debut. And we'll be back for the second leg. I guess we've got one game in between. That is against Variston away. Variston are okay in the league too. They're coming second. So, won't be an easy one. But hopefully we'll get the job done there. And I'll see you in a minute to hopefully win the second leg. Alright, welcome back. Now a little bit of sad news, and Tommy G has left. Only got 70 grand for him in the end, which is disappointing. There's some add-ons there which could take it up to 115. Ultimately, I'd already promised him that he could go, and his contract was up at the end of the year. He's been a very, very good player for us, but I still maintain, I think you can see here, current ability, a D-level signing. He'd played his role. He'd done his part perfectly for the squad. He did exactly what we needed him to do. We got him on a free transfer, of course, as well, and kept us in the league, got us into Europe, and we need to move on now, and so does he. So, yeah, that is sad, but I think needed. But you let me know what you think. There was one game that we have to catch you up on in between these two legs. That was against Variston, so let's see how it did. We took a first-half lead when Bracalo crossed for Tommy G. Kelvin John made it 2-0 at half-time, before Purser played in Tommy G early in the second half. And John then picked him out for his hat-trick. So Tommy G signs off with a hat-trick. Very, very nicely done as well. John, nice to see him get himself on the score sheet. Pembele struggling again. He doesn't have any match sharpness. It might take him a little bit of time. Doesn't know the language in that either. But still a little bit disappointing. I was hoping for more from him. But yeah, otherwise we played very well. Got the win. And that was a team that was coming second in the league at the time. But Champions League, let's get that underway. And we are expecting the same from them, a 4-3-3. And this is a team that we are sending out. It is Nevesic in goal, Bekanic, Demjanic, and Zebic as the back three. Dekic and Rovis will go down the wings. Then we've got Bosanjak, Palumbo, and Skoko in midfield. Filip and Pranjic will be the front two. We are maybe ever so slightly thin up front just now. That will change with time. I'm just looking, we need somebody else to go on the bench here. And I say that will change with time because we know that we've got some very good young strikers, Sluga in particular, that are coming through, but they're just a bit young right now. He's so good for a 15-year-old, isn't he? Anyway, I'll find someone else to put on the bench and I'll see you in there. Alright, so we can see the team sheets. It's going to be roughly the same, isn't it? Because you can't have registered anybody in between the two legs. We stick to the game plan, I think. We were not too bad in that first leg. We should have beaten them by... well, just beaten them rather than a draw. But, yeah, I don't know about Tommy G. It's one of those, isn't it? He's done really, really well, but I do think that, as I said at the time, or a second ago, he served his purpose. I think it was the first goal in that game was his 100th goal of his career, and he scored the majority of those with us. So, yeah, we'll see. Like I say, we're just a little bit thin right now because Matanovic's injury. He will hopefully be back for the next qualifying round. And then Kelvin John we can't register as yet anyway, so that's why we're a little bit thin. But once the youth players start getting to 16 and they can then play, then the squad's going to look a lot better in terms of a little bit of extra depth in there. So yeah, it's not ideal right now, but I don't think there's anything to be overly concerned about. I'm still trying to find a goalkeeper, still struggling to find one. But yeah, I mean, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We just need to make sure that we keep getting into our Champions League group stages or league phases. As Palumbo knocks in a corner, it's headed away. Bosanjak is there. Rovis comes forward. And let's see what we can do here. Is Rovis going to try and whip a cross in? He's got himself a bit of space. He's got himself a lot of space towards Skoko. And his header is over the top. So it remains 0-0 on the night. 1-0 on 1-1, I should say, on aggregate. We have had 70% possession here, though. And, I mean, the one benefit we've got from that first leg is that we've got our data analysis and scouts or whoever it is that puts all those reports together. We've sort of got something to go off them now. We didn't really get anything from that going into that first game. So that helps. Just helps set up a bit of a game plan for us. Bosanjak gets himself a bit of space. Bosanjak works himself a lot of space. But again, over the top. Let's tell him to focus. It's almost been too comfortable, this, hasn't it? Dekic whips a cross in. It is beyond everybody. And Bekenic will pick it up. And we'll build from the back. Damjanic forward for Bosanjak. Back to Damjanic. Nice ball forward for Skoko. Good wide ball there for Dekic. Can he get across it? It's a good low one. And Elias Phillett has roofed it for his 4th of the season. It is 1-0 on the night. It is 2-1 on aggregate. And hopefully now we've broken their defence. We can really go on a bit of a run now. And good ball in, isn't it? And Phillett just absolutely roofed it. I don't know what to do with right back either, I've got to say. At some point, I dare say, this transfer window, we're going to need to make a decision on Tinavoy, whether he stays or goes, or whether it's Dekic. On current form, it's difficult to look past Dekic, I've got to say. We did pay a little bit for both of them, but not in the millions or anything. So, yeah. Pembele, I think, longer term, is going to be a very good player for us. He's just going into through that sort of settling in period where he learns the language, where he, just gets used to playing with us. He is technically learning the wing-back position as well, although I can't see how it's that much different, wing-back to full-back. But he is technically learning that as well. So he's picked up a few bookings. He's not really contributed too much. But I think we can keep playing him in the league games. We are going to have to register him in the Champions League squad or he's going to get annoyed. But I don't know that he'll be playing too much in the Champions League until he sort of proves himself in the league. But, I thought Pranjic was going to pounce then. But yeah, it's like anything, isn't it, when you make new signings. And the squad it's got a big overhaul in the last, from this time last season. I mean, we'd be looking at good ball in and Pranjic over the top. I mean, who was here? I mean, Zebic was here, wasn't he? But he was only on loan. Bekenic was here. Rovis, Phillett, and Pranjic. Other than that, I think everybody was no one was here last season. At the start of last season. So we've undergone a big overhaul, and we're definitely moving the squad to where it needs to be able to challenge both in Europe and in the league. Dashka was around as well. He's on the bench, isn't he? Rovis, can he whip a cross in? It's a good ball for Palumbo! And he picks out Noah Skoko, and he gets his 3rd. Our 2nd. It's 3-1 on aggregate now, and hopefully that will be that. Pranjic on a booking and playing a 6-3. I don't love. Let's get this young kid back on and see what he can do. Good finish from Skoko, wasn't it? He's absolutely doing exactly what I wanted him to do. We needed someone to come in and replace Tolik. Now that has been accelerated from the fact that Tolik has broken his ankle. But Skoko he's just looking like the perfect replacement right now. So that is obviously huge. Now what that might allow us to do is potentially look to move Tolik on. I'm not completely convinced I want to move him on just yet. But he is 31. He's going to be coming towards the end of his contract in the next season or so. So there is an argument to say now is the time to do that. We'll just go back to balance. We don't need to be attacking them anymore. They've put up a very good fight, haven't they? Let's be fair to them. They've certainly made us work for this. And it's not done yet, but they haven't really threatened us at all in this one. They didn't really threaten us in the last game either. They just sort of scored, relatively speaking, out of the blue, and then that was it. But we've taken our chances a little bit better here, and I think we've created a few more as well as Bosanjak pounces. Can we go and get a third? That would surely wrap it up for us. Dekic, back for Fillet. Fillet's got the young kid in the middle, but he can't find him. Palumbo picks it up. We get it wide again there for Rovis. For Bosanjak. Forward for Skoko. Noah Skoko! It's just wide. Bosanjak, has he got a knock? No, he's fine. He's fine. He can stay out there. And this is going to be this. We've again dominated at home. We know we're a good team at home, aren't we? We saw that last year as well. And in stoppage time, can we add a third on the night? The cross is not the greatest. Levski are coming back the other way. If they were to score now, we'd be a little bit nervous. That's a handball or offside or something, isn't it? It's still there for them. And we eventually hack it clear. That will be that. And we have seen off the Bulgarians. But that was much, much more difficult than I thought it was going to be, I've got to say. So well done to us. So job done. We get through that one. Another 85 grand in the bank. And it is Viking in the next round. So that will be the Norwegian... They're Norwegian, aren't they? Norwegian champions. And let's have a quick look at their squad. So again, it's more or less grayed out. You'd like to think that is a tie that we could win. Another Bracalo. This one's Slovenian. But anyway, that is a much friendlier tie. I'd rather them than Celtic, that's for sure. Dekic continues to look quite good, doesn't he? I just... Yeah, I'm not sure what we do with right backs. I wasn't expecting him to be that good, to be honest. But guys, that is that for today. If you've enjoyed it, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back next time for Vikinger. Whether we do one leg or two legs will just depend on how the first leg goes. I suspect we'll show both legs just so we can see then if we were to get through either Champions League or, I guess, Europa League fixtures. But anyway, transfer window, yeah, it'll still be open then. So we might have one or two more signings in as well, though we're running out of money to do that. Take care.